well again. I hope you all are still well. It was a long day today, and I'll tell you why in just a second. And because it was a long day, I thought we would talk about some more sort of silly stories, depending on your point of view. The first one was actually a car accident, and it was a road rage accident involving some MAGA cars, and it happened actually where I was staying this weekend, and it was all over our Nextdoor apps. It was all over the place. So we'll get into that. You will appreciate this story, I think. And then I wanted to show you something pretty funny. This is a restaurant owner, still sort of in my area, the Southern California area, that had kind of a jab for Gavin Newsom, and I think you'll find that pretty funny. And the jab also was because we have some new lockdown orders here, and our restaurants are having to close for 3 more weeks. And then lastly, Katy Perry had another message of unity, and it didn't go over so well with some of her fans, so we'll talk about that. But first, why was today such a long day? I watched the entire hearing that happened in Arizona. It went over 3 hours, and they still didn't get to everyone, and it was just a lot of information to go through, so I'll talk more about that tomorrow. And then tomorrow is the Michigan hearing. And I'll just tell you, I watched the full hearing in Pennsylvania, the full one today. I've already heard, I said it in my last video, I think 4 or 5 30-minute testimonies that are coming out of Michigan. With all of this information, it is mind-blowing how the media is covering this and how they're not even giving a voice to any of these peoples or any of these claims. It's absolutely mind-blowing. We are living in 2 different realities. And I didn't tell you guys this, but I started taking a course in journalism, and the more I learn, the more I just cannot believe the state of our media right now. It is sad, but I have hope. And speaking of alternate realities, I thought you would get a kick out of this story. So where I was staying over the weekend, I was staying at the beach with some loved ones celebrating the Thanksgiving weekend, and the beach town I was staying in for the weekend, there was an accident involving some MAGA trucks. So we pursued the clip on TMZ, and I'm just going to show you a little short clip. If you want to see the whole thing, go over to tmz.com or on their Twitter, and you can see the entire video. It's hard to watch, or it's hard to figure out what's going on. The people filming were far away, but I'm going to explain what was happening in this accident. So you see these 2 trucks, and they have the Trump flag on, and they're either at the stoplight or they're driving through, and a black Mustang comes up behind them and starts screaming at them, saying F you, this and that, and the Mustang attempts to go around them, and he's continuing to yell at them. So he attempts to speed up and go around the Trump truck, and when he did that, he lost control and hit about 3 or 4 cars, clipped 3 or 4 cars, maybe even 6, I can't remember, so fact check me on that, but hits a few cars and flips over. Instant karma. Thankfully, no one was injured in that accident, but watch it here. This was the first time I actually stayed in this town, and it's typically, I believe, a very quiet town. So naturally, this was the talk of everyone the next day, and everyone was sharing these videos. And how did the media cover it? They basically just said Trump trucks involved in road rage accident. And I'm walking along the beach the next day with a friend of mine, and I overhear some women talking, and they're talking about the accident. And how do they play it out? Did you see those Trump cars hit someone yesterday and got into an accident, when that is clearly not what is happening or what has happened. And of course, that's very insignificant, just hearing some ladies talk about it. I don't know how smart they are, up to date they are with things, but this is something that happens all the time. We've seen it in the news. We've talked about it all summer, but how many times you hear about an act of violence or an act of aggression that is toward a person that supports the president. They are almost never the perpetrator. They are always the victim, almost always. Of course, there are other cases, but almost always they are the victims, and the media and people will try some way. They will figure out some way to twist it all around and to make the opposite true, because they have been so programmed to think orange man bad, Trump supporter bad, Republican bad. So it can never be true that they are the victim. I just thought you would like that story. And I have another story for you that I think you're really going to like. And this is a restaurant owner in, Redondo Beach, California, which is Southern California. If you didn't hear, our governor announced right before Thanksgiving that Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, was going to be the last time our restaurants are going, this website is talking. Was going to be the last nights that our restaurants will be able to be open. They are having to close down for 3 more weeks. And even though they were doing strictly outdoor dining, they're not even allowed to do outdoor dining right now, which is a huge blow to our restaurants. We have a stay-at-home order until December 20th. But one restaurant owner decided that he knew how he could stay open. So this is Eat at Joe's in Redondo Beach, and the restaurant owner put this sign out that says the French Laundry patio dining. And he figured if he would call himself the French Laundry, then the rules would not apply to him and he would be able to stay open. I'll read you a little bit of what he said. He said, the governor went to that fancy party at the French Laundry and didn't social distance, didn't do anything, and just rubbed it in our faces. Jordan said in an interview with Fox Business, the hypocrisy of it annoyed me, so I put up the sign like this, saying, hey, if it's okay for you to go to the French Laundry, then my customers can come in. That's all it was. Just straight dig at the governor. As far as I know, he still has this sign up, and I don't have the photos to show you, but I've heard that a few other restaurants are following suit. I don't know exactly how many, but I think 1 or 2 are putting the French Laundry sign on their restaurant doors. What else did he say? He says, my employees have to eat. They have to be fed. They have to get paid. And being home for 3 weeks before Christmas is no way to do that. I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm not trying to make an anti-COVID statement. None of that. I just want my employees to be able to survive. Next is Katy Perry. If you don't know who she is a huge international pop star. She currently has over 100 million followers on Twitter, and she also comes from a very conservative religious family. Although she is not, she is very outspoken about her super left political leanings, so she in no way agrees with her family, but she still loves them apparently. And she put out, after the President-elect Joe Biden was elected by the media, she put out a message of unity to her fans, and it wasn't received quite well by them. And she had another message of unity just recently on her Twitter. This was November 27th, and she said, we haven't always seen eye to eye, but I'm proud of my dad and bro for coming up with this. Head to @NothingButUSA store for the vibes, love, and heart emoji and American flag emoji. So she also posted a video, and this is her dad. So I'm just going to flip the camera around so you can see this video. And then we'll talk about some of the unifying messages that she got in return from her tolerant fans.
Everyone, I'm Keith, and I want to ask you a question. Are you tired of the division that is destroying our country? Yeah. Are you sick of losing your family and friends because they just don't agree with your political views? Yeah. Well, I am, and I know there's a lot of other people out there that have the same feeling in the same way. And no matter what you believe, at the end of the day, we are all Americans. And I designed this t-shirt because I want people to know that even though you may have a different religion or a political view than I do, I still will be there for you, and I'll still consider you my friend, my neighbor, and my fellow American. So hey.
So So that was Katy Perry's dad. So let's look at some of the reactions by some of her fans. This person says, I stopped at 17 seconds and I know Katy didn't tweet, but let me say that. If someone that claims to love you supports somebody that claims to hate your existence, you shouldn't waste your time and energy with that person. Good night. And this person said, Katy, the fact that you're 36 years and your parents can still brainwash you actually is kind of sad. Really sad. I always wished I was wrong, but after this video, I'm heartbroken. That video just broke that person's heart with that message of hate that Katy Perry is getting, cloaked in a message of unity. Someone said, Katy, is this love? He voted against my existence. I ain't got nothing else to say, just gonna scroll. And then somebody replied to that and said, he voted against her own existence too. I can't. And last but certainly not least, what is a message from someone on the tolerant left without bringing up privilege? Because there really is no conversation you can have without someone bringing up privilege, and everything is privilege now. You need to realize it is your privilege being able to speak to your family, even though they are Republicans or conservatives. Most of us feel threatened by those. So that's why you need to stop spread the love your conservative parents propaganda. So those are some of the messages by Katy's followers. This was not a quiet thing. They wrote an article about it in Glamour. Katy Perry fans are not happy. She promoted her dad's nonpartisan t-shirt line. The Daily Mail, Katy Perry slammed by fans for promoting her father's t-shirt line. In Style magazine, Katy Perry is facing backlash for promoting her dad's nonpartisan clothing line. The Independent, Katy Perry criticized for promoting her father's political t-shirts. But what I do like about this whole thing is the fact that Katy Perry has not apologized and she has not taken it down. And we see how quickly a lot of people cower when they face a backlash like that. And both tweets that she had backlash for, she never took down and she never apologized for. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about everything. I hope you're having a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.